Hello everyone, this is Teresa Patterson with Plant-Based Nation. By now you should have received your starter, your sourdough starter, and it's going to come in a package like this. Inside of it is another envelope that has 1/4 of a cup of starter. Now this is a starter that I've dehydrated, and I've had my starter for a couple of years. And so I'm going to walk you through a very easy method on how to start a starter so that you're able to make your own bread. And in 4 or 5 days after your starter is active, we will go through another video that shows you how to make sourdough sandwich bread. So make sure that you have a mason jar that has a wide rim. Now this one is just to get this activated and started. I suggest you get a larger mason jar so that you can always have your starter in that mason jar. Maybe one like this is good, or just a plain mason jar as well. So you're going to want to have a mason jar, a lid, your water, and the starter, and something wooden to stir. Now, most people say you don't need, you can stir with anything, but because I've always used wooden on my starter, and this is from my starter, it's best to do that, okay? You're also going to want to make sure that you have some all-purpose flour, and I use King Arthur. So you might want to stick to King Arthur to get this activated, and then after that, you're able to use the flour of your choice. So you can open up your package, look on the back of your package, and you will have directions. You will also have, my Facebook page and my YouTube page to like and subscribe, so make sure that you do that as well. So all we're going to do today is we're going to open up that package. You're going to take your 1/4 of cup of starter. You're going to pour it in your mason jar. You're going to take your water, which is 1/4 of a cup of water, and you're going to put the water in, and then you're just going to stir it vigorously. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Make sure that you've stirred pretty much of the lumps out. You're going to wait 30 minutes and go back and stir again. We're not going to do anything else today. So this is all we're going to do today with the starter. That you want to use lukewarm water, and you can use a filtered water, that would be great. And also you want to, after you've stirred this, you want to put the lid on very lightly and leave the lid on for 24 hours. All right, this is day 2 of our sourdough, and we have let everything sit for 24 hours. Now we're going to open up our mason jar, and we're going to look inside and see just a little bit of bubbles, but not a lot of activity. So we're going to stir it around. I'm actually going to change this tomorrow so that I have a bigger vessel. Once it rises, it's just not going to be enough. But now that we've stirred it with our wooden straw, we're going to take 1/4 a cup of flour, King Arthur, put it into our mixture that we made yesterday. And then we're going to add again 1/4 a cup of water. Make sure it's room temperature. And we're going to stir it with our skewer here, our wooden skewer. And then after we stir that, we are going to again let it just sit and hang out overnight. Please like and subscribe if you're watching this through our YouTube channel. And you also can join our Facebook, A Plant-Based Nation. So we're just going to stir that until it's smooth. And then we're going to put that cap back on very loosely. You can just put that on very loosely. See, as it's beginning to bubble, which is awesome. It's activating just a little bit. So we're going to put that cap back on, and then we're going to store it on top of the stove or refrigerator. Good morning, this is Teresa Patterson with Plant-Based Nation. It's early in the morning, but it is day 3, and I wanted to show you what to do with your starter. So you're just going to take your 1/4 cup of flour and your water, and you're going to stir. Make sure you stir it very well. And again, we're just going to put our top on and let that sit. And I did change my vessel from this to this because it just wasn't going to be big enough. We'll see you tomorrow. Hello, Plant-Based Nation. This is Teresa Patterson and our 3rd day of feeding our starter. So what we're going to do today is first look inside, and you see that it is bubbling and getting some activity. So we're going to put our 1/4 cup of flour, our 1/4 cup of water, and I'm going to put less water in it today because I want it to not be so runny. You want to make sure that your starter is kind of looking like pudding and not runny. So you might have to adjust your water. I'm going to just put the rest in because it was a little too thick. All right. So what we're going to also do today is mark the level of the starter with a rubber band or a string. So I'm going to put this around here, right to this level. Now we're going to start watching our starter to see if it's going to rise and fall. And I noticed yesterday that it did. It was down here, it rose to here, and it fell. So we're going to make sure that it's doing that today. And we will be done with the 1/4 feedings today. And tomorrow we're going to do something different. We're going to feed it 1 cup, and we'll do that tomorrow. We'll see you then. Hey guys, this is Teresa Patterson again with Plant-Based Nation. I am so excited to go with the last step that we're going to have to do today for our sourdough starter. So 4 days ago, we rehydrated our starter with the packet that was sent to you, along with a 1/4 cup of water. And then for 3 days, we used a 1/4 cup of flour and a 1/4 cup of water. Today, we are going to do what I call a big feed, and this is going to get you ready for making your bread. I also changed my top, or my lid, to one that was a little bit more breathable, excuse me, and you'll be able to do the same thing. So you can use a tea towel or any type of towel that you have that is breathable, and just lightly sit it on the top of your mason jar, especially if you're here in Florida and the weather is so hot. We need your starter to be able to breathe. So I'm going to take this off so you can see what's happened to the starter after we've rehydrated and we fed it for 3 days. Look at that. So it's bubbly. It is exactly what it needs to do. It's bubbly. It's perfect. It's actually perfect and ready to be fed to make bread. Your recipe that we're going to make calls for a cup of flour. And so that's exactly what we're going to put in the starter. Now this is after we've done our 3 days of feeding. This is after we've rehydrated and everything. Okay, so now we're going to put in the whole cup of flour. Okay, and then we're going to put in a cup of water. And then we're going to do the same thing with our wooden skewer. We're going to stir it, stir it, stir it, stir it, stir it. Now this is where I would suggest again that after you've stirred this, that you find something to mark the level with. String, a marker in it, Sharpie, rubber band, whatever you can use. You're going to mark the level of where your starter is right now, which is here, okay? So I'm going to probably use my string again and mark the level, okay, with my string. Here, I'm going to mark that level. And let's see if I can do that now. This is what it's going to look like. So we want it to be a little thick and not too runny. Okay, if it's too runny, we're adding too much water. It's really not going to hurt anything, but if you want to make perfect bread, then this is how I do it. All right, so I'm going to put this, try to do it with one hand. String on. Okay, so now we have the string on the level here of where we mixed up our cup of King Arthur flour and our cup of water. So we're going to put a cloth back on this, and this is a big cloth. You don't have to use one this big. You can cut it up, do whatever. Okay, we're going to put a rubber band on this. We're going to put it back in a very dark place and store it on the refrigerator or the stove. And after this, after it rises and falls, and you're going to have to watch it, it's going to double in size and fall. Then we're going to be able to make some sourdough bread. So I hope you had a great time watching. If you have any questions or remarks, feel free to hit me up on Facebook or also the YouTube channel. And the next video we'll be making sourdough sandwich bread. Have a great, blessed day and make healthy choices.